Hello, welcome to my review of Disenchantment. This is a new series, a Netflix original series. I give the series 8 out of 10 drops of elf blood. Matt Groening has done it again, a colorful cast of cartoon characters brought to life by an amazing cast of voice actors, of animators, and it's just still him in his prime, really. Well, him returning to his prime, I guess, depending on your opinions of the current Simpsons and the disappointment of Futurama not still being a thing. It has classic voice actors and actresses from Matt's previous works, Billy West, who does Fry, John DiMaggio, who does Bender, among many other things like Jake the Dog. Come back to work with Matt. And this show doesn't have a super solid overarching story, as in some shows have an ex machina or something that needs to be solved that season. Whereas this one has a couple characters that are in the background that keep on discussing things about the series and making things that are still going to plan and stuff like that. But it's not really what drives the show. What drives the show is just Bean, who's the main character, the girl that you see on the posters and stuff. Her acting with her world. And I think that's where the show genuinely shines, is when it's just her messing around with her two friends, Elfo and her little pet, with Elfo and her little pet demon, whose name I can't forget. It's like Lucy, I think. Yeah, I think it is Lucy. It's been a couple of days since I've watched the entire series. I binged it. But it's just when those three are just by themselves, that's when the show really does shine. And it slogs when a typical joke happens, or maybe a not so great line or dialogue, or voice acting kind of on some people doesn't come through. What I mean by that is that the princess, a running joke is she's a well, okay, how about I explain? It's a princess in a make-believe land where, magic and elves and all that exist in medieval times, as you could probably tell from the trailer and just looking at the picture of it. But it's all about the princess Bean, the daughter of John DiMaggio's character, the king, in her land, and how much of a screw-up she is, and how much of a drunk she is, and how she does drugs, and is a kind of a loose woman sometimes, by her own choice, to each their own. But it's moments where it's too over the top, like she's drunk or high and says the stereotypical kind of thing that you think a person like that would do. Not like being drunk and being high. Stuff happens naturally. Really random things happen, and I think it's really hard to recreate that in a set place, in a sober situation like they're trying to do with the show. But otherwise, it has a lot of fun moments. It has a lot of dark humor that I love. Not like the Happy Time Murder weird dark humor, but just dark humor that's solid, and then witty humor that's solid. And when those two come with the three characters just goofing off and going through that episode's plot, it's solid. It's really solid. It's only 10 episodes, which is a gripe of mine, that it got called for 20 at the beginning when Matt and Netflix signed the deal. And at the end of the 10th episode, a lot of things come to fruition, and a lot of things are just left on the table, and I don't like that. I hate that about Netflix. Netflix does the same thing with shows like The Ranch, where a lot of stuff happens, 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 and then you get to the end of the 10 episodes or 15 or whatever it is, and it's like, oh, here's where we're at. Here's all the things branching off that we need to solve in the next season. You're not going to solve some of them. You solve last season's problems in the current season problems turns the next season problems that get solved there. I don't like that style. But I'm not saying that every season needs to have a finale type thing where if it does end, it's all set in stone and you can go home and go happy about it. I don't think that's a great way to feel like your show is going to go. You think your show should have the confidence to know that it's going to keep on going. And this does, because it has 20 episodes, but they only use 10 episodes in the first season, so a lot gets left behind. And if I didn't know 10 episodes were coming back in, I wouldn't be intrigued, because it's that feeling of, what if I wasted all my time on this big old thing, and then poof, it's gone. You don't get to solve it. You don't get to get any realization or comforting knowing that the story's over or anything like that. You don't get that. I don't like that. I want to have some closure. Take a page out of Christopher Nolan's book of writing. Have a big picture, you know, a beginning and an end, and a lot of things get figured out. But then just a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of it doesn't get solved, and you could think of it as an open to interpretation kind of thing that you could branch off to yourself and see what happens. Perfect example, Inception. At the end, the little twisty thing is still spinning. Yeah, we don't know if it's still going or not, but the point is that we get it, you know. We're like, oh, that's most of everything solved, and then you can go and just guess the ending there. Or like The Dark Knight Rises at the end, where Bruce Wayne, you know, raises glass to Alfred in that little French, I think it was French, coffee shop. You're like, oh, I wonder if Alfred goes up there. But it doesn't matter, because you know that he's alive, he's with his gal, he's enjoying life. A lot of the plot points of the movie get solved there, and you're okay with it, and you just get that little bit. This show has so many things that get left out in the open. Character dies, a lot of people get separated, the kingdom's in ruin. There's like a betrayal randomly that you didn't see coming, and just so many things are going on. You're just like, why? Just solve one or two of them. Just have another episode, or just do all 20. Just have a huge big arc of 20 episodes. You've already ordered them. Why are you gonna make me wait and get annoyed by it? I still really enjoy it. This is me being a little bitchy and critiquey and whiny, but I really did enjoy the series. I think it's fun. If you like any of Matt's work, Futurama, Simpsons, basic ones, you're gonna like it. If you like medieval kind of stuff, you're gonna like it. You like magical type, you're gonna like it. There's a lot of people that are gonna like it. Some people are not gonna like it because maybe the animation they don't maybe enjoy, or some of the voice actors they don't enjoy. You know, minor gripes and stuff like that. But I still think it's worth a shot. The first episode's the longest, and the rest are, you know, basic television show lengths, maybe a little bit longer. And all of them wrap up nicely in terms of episodes. It's just that last episode that gets you, because you're like, oh, well, I gotta wait for the other 10 to come out in like half a year or so, however Netflix does it. But knowing that there is 10 more, I'm gonna watch the next 10. I'm gonna really enjoy it, and I think of where the show's gonna go after the 10 episodes and kind of how the 10th episode ended. I think I'm gonna like it, and I think I'm gonna want more than just the 20 that we're gonna get, or the 10 more that we're gonna get. I really like the show, and I really hope it continues on. Maybe a strong Netflix series that can keep on going for a while and not just get ended because of bad things happening to cast or uninterest. Because unbeknownst to most people, Netflix is not doing the greatest. They need to have a star somewhere. Maybe if the show works on a couple of things, it could be that. It could be. But who am I to say? I'm Clark Addison. This is me reviewing entertainment. I hope you enjoyed it. Just remember, I do this because I care, and I'll see you guys next time.